another key thing was when I was competing against competitors, I was getting down because some of the competitors were cheaper. Now I realised that doesn't necessarily work. We have a price match promise which we do honour, but at the end of the day I'll only price match promise somebody as long as they're doing the same job as what we're doing, because there's lots of little cheat codes that the other installers can do. For instance, they can fit you a Worcester boiler with a cheaper program, a cheaper filter. Some of them, the bigger companies are offering warranties because they've not actually got a manufactured back guarantee. So when I was price matching some of these companies, I was price matching thinking shit. So for instance, when I'm price matching one-man bands, I would say, there's got to be stipulations there. Are they VAT registered? So they're not VAT registered, I can't physically price match them because straight away it's 20% difference. Well, for 12.5 and we can claim back, but ultimately I couldn't price match them. So I price match anybody, and what's great is that the competition on my level, and there's levels above me, believe me, massive levels above, that can cause you eruptions and issues with the prices. I'll go up against some of them. There's one in particular at the minute, and I'm sure anybody who's got a company of my size know who he is. And he recently sold this company. He's a really nice guy. I've never met him, but he's a really nice guy. But I cannot compete with this guy because as soon as he knows an accredited installer's been in, boom. But that's limited time because they'll not be able to do that forever because they're a large constituency that is owned by a massive company. They bought out loads of companies, so they're doing the monopolisation where they'll monopolise an area, buy your competition really. And I'm certain that the business model, it'll definitely work, but if I just hang in when they put the prices up, I can then start getting a little bit more money on the jobs. One of the big things we've noticed to keep the profit up is basically the first thing we noticed was the cost per acquisition. So it was costing us probably in 2019-20 about 100 quid, and then it went to 150. Now we're at 220, and that's before I go or one of the sales lads go, but it's quite big money. So if you then take into consideration you've got your cost per acquisition, then if they go onto a finance deal, it's dead important, we get costs, hidden kickback charges on finance, which depreciates the profit. Now big companies are doing that anyway because it's in the business model. They're designed to interrupt the market. Customer thinks we should be cheaper because we're smaller, but they don't realise that the bigger companies have got buying power. That was used to be like, oh, you're small, you've got less overheads. The companies like that are actually losing money. They're prepared to lose millions, to the tune of 30 million, one of them. So ultimately you can't compete. All you can do is match price and do what you got to do. You win, you lose. I mean, more we win, to be honest with you, but you've got to look at that. That was one of the biggest challenges. So if it was going out to a customer and they could have finance, if we can sell a boiler to somebody, keep the cost per acquisition down, keep the finance to a reason, so we're not having to pay contributions and admin fees, etc., we'll make more profits on it, which gives us more more money to take on more team members. Because the problem is, in our industry we can't take on more team members because we can't afford it, because the profit margins are being decreased.